This is our first video on products grade 10. If there's any videos you need made from grade 1 to grade 12, please feel free to send an email to this number or send an SMS to this number, and we'll try and make a video as soon as possible for what you need. Enjoy the video. Right, when we start with the first product, which is the easier one we've been doing since grade 8, it's important to remember the SNF, signs, numbers, variables. I kept it on the side here. Always when you're busy with algebra, it's remember to remind yourself that I must watch out what the sign is, what the numbers that's going to be in the answer, and then what the variables is going to be. You can break it loose, do the one first or the other one first, all depending on the question. Let's start the first one. We're going to times the minus 2x with the 3x squared, and then we're going to times it by the next. Even if there were more in the bracket, we times him with each one. Big words, they use distributive law. We're not going to even look at those big words. So we're going to times this with this. There's a minus here times a plus, which then gives you a minus. And then the 2 times the 3 gives you a 6. The x times the x squared gives you then an x to the power of 3. Then we're going to times the minus 2x with the minus 4x. First the minus times the minus is a plus. The 2 times the 4 gives me an 8. The x times the x is x squared. As you go, you might hear me say that we call this the octopus legs. So this guy goes to this one and to this one. We're going to keep doing that. So I call it the octopus leg sometimes. Right, here's our second product. We're going to times this minus x with this and with this. And then we're going to times this guy here and here. So we finish each one separately. I'll give you a shortcut now. So this minus x times x is minus x squared. Then the minus x times the minus 3 gives you a plus 3x, and then the plus 2 is going to be times by this guy, and the plus 2 is going to be times by this guy. So it'll give you this answer at this stage. Then we will put the like terms together and leave these two waiting. Just to compare the two sums then, it's exactly actually the same thing happening, it just looks different. So this guy gets times to this one and to that one. There's your answer. Here you take the two separately, take this one and times him out. Then this one and times him out, you get the answers here, and you simplify it at the end. So the two sums are actually very closely related. If I see a product like this, with a square, although there's a shortcut, a lot of kids don't understand or remember it, we will rewrite the sum and then do it. It means there are two brackets next to each other of the same numbers. I wrote them next to each other, and now I will do the full octopus again. So I'm going to times the c with this one, and then that one, this one, and that one. So c times c is plus c squared, and then c times the minus 3d gives me minus 3 and then cd. Then I times the minus 3d with the c over here, and the answer then is minus 3cd, and then I times the minus 3 with the minus 3d, and I write the answer here, which then gives me a plus 9d squared. Then we simplify the two like terms together and let this guy wait and this guy wait and simplify these two together, which gives me this final answer. The moment you have this basics under control, I would like to show you a shortcut that the moment you have control on this 4 steps, if you look for a shortcut that will help us. So after you've done about 4, 5 or 6 of these kind of sums, you must look if you can see what I'm going to show you now, how to do the shortcut, but do not get mixed up. Rather do it this way. Please try and follow how I write this answer now. I times this x with this x, and then this x with this 3, and then this minus 3 with this x, and this minus 3 with this 3, in that order, but watch where I write it. X times x gives me, then I times the x with the plus 3 over here, and see where I write it. Then I times the minus 3 with the x, and I also write it up here as minus 3x. Then I add these two, and I write the answer down here. In this case, we're lucky. These two will cancel each other, and there will be nothing down here. Then I times this minus 3 with a 3 here, and write the answer, which is then minus 9. Let's try that method again. We are going to times this x with the x, and the answer is x squared. Then we're going to times this x with this plus 3. We're going to write it up here, which is plus 3x. Then I'm going to times the minus 1 with this x and write the answer up here, which is minus x. And then I'm going to times the minus 1 with the 3. First, we're going to add these two together and write the answer down here. Then the minus 1 times the 3 gives me the minus 3 at the back here. Do not get mixed up with this writing up here. If it doesn't suit you and you don't feel safe with it, you write your x squared here, your 3x down here, your minus x, and then your minus 3, and then you simplify it later. But by grade 10, I think you should be able to handle this. Right, this product just looks fatter, but the story stays the same. I'm going to times this a here, there, and there, then the minus 5 here, here, and here. That's why I call it the octopus. That one then give me this a times this guy gives me the 2a cubed. This times this gives me the plus 3ab. This one times that one gives me a minus 4a. Then I do the same with the minus b. The minus b times the 2a gives me a minus 2a squared b. The minus b over here gives me a minus 3b squared. And the minus b over here gives me the plus 4b over here. Then I see if there's like terms and I try and put them together. Because there is no like terms in here, that means all of them are separate and the sum is finished over here. Let's do this one together. So the a times the a squared is the a cubed. The a times this number over here gives me a plus 2a squared b. And that one times that one over there gives me the answer here. We'll do the same now with minus 2b. The minus 2b times the a squared gives me the minus 2a squared b. This one times that one gives me the answer I get over here. And this one times that one gives me the answer over here. And here is now like terms I'm going to put together. If you look, you'll see that this pink and pink line indicates the same terms. Now I've got plus 2 of these guys minus 2 of the same guys. They will cancel each other. And then I'll take these ones. I've got a plus 4ab squared. I've got a minus 4ab squared. Again, two like terms that will kill each other. I'll get left with these two only. And this is then my final answer over here. All these sums that we've done in this video are actually the same. You're taking a number and timesing it by everything in the second bracket, and the next number times by everything. We won't do any bigger sums than this in high school, but at university you can get a 3-term over here that you times by a 4-term over here. Doesn't really matter, but it's one technique. You just times every guy in this bracket with every one in this bracket, and then just simplify it at the end. Just remember your S, N, V. In the next video we will do the special ones, but first get the basics of this video under control, please. Goodbye.